Okay, so today I want to introduce you to a concept for creating backgrounds that are really good for e-learning templates. What you can do here is you can take a texture and add it to a color to create a background image. So I think the best place to start is to just scroll through a couple of the finished blends, and then I'll show you guys more on how you can create these yourself. So here are a few different ones where it's circles and question marks and some other patterns. This one has a gradient color in it, and here's a pretty simple background that's just stripes with a grayscale. And I'll just scroll through a few of these and you can take a look. And what you can do is you can drop other things on top of it to create, say, a quiz or interaction, and this then becomes more of your color theme and pattern that could go with your company colors or something else you're using within your content. So let's take a quick look at the components of what make this up. So you'll see here I have the selection visibility pane open, and I have a texture and I have a color here. So if I were to hide the texture, you'll see I just have a color, and it does have a gradient to it. And then if I got rid of the color, you'd see I have a texture here that is really just adding some black or gray to that background color. So let me show you something else real quick here. Alright, first of all, from within your color, if you wanted to, this is within PowerPoint, but you could use any other graphic editing tool. But here you'll see I have a gradient fill, and I basically have added 3 different stops here with the darker ends in the middle and a lighter one there. And that creates a nice gradient effect there, so that when I then drop that texture on top of it, it looks nice. Now there's 2 different types of textures that you could add onto it. So you could add one that is adding a darker shade to it, or you could add one that is actually adding a lighter shade to it. And let me show you that as well. Okay, so the way that I work with the texture here is I actually insert a shape and then do a picture fill, and that's because within PowerPoint it's difficult to change the transparency of a picture. You need to have actually picture fill within a shape to do it. It's a little workaround, but let me just show you here. I would go fill, picture or texture fill, select from file, and what I have here, you will see that's the dots to reverse black, and we could do the opposite of that, which would be the dots to reverse white, and you'll see what happens here. Okay, and here again I had the transparency of 70, but if you look at the difference between those two, it's a very different effect here. It's just basically the opposite. And you can add these transparencies. You can create them yourself. I'll show you some of the other ones that that I have as well. So some of these are hard to see when it's white on white, but you'll see I have a bunch of different textures that I've already created that you can add right in there, and you take that texture, you mix it with a color, and you have yourself a nice little background. So then one of the ways that I might use this within PowerPoint is for a template. So this would be my background that I've inserted onto the master slide, and then I add a whole bunch of layouts, and let's actually look at it in a different view. There you go. So you can add a bunch of other layouts that have a lot of open white space or maybe some perspective, where you can then use this as the base for an e-learning course. So you could do it for this, or you could use it for a quiz. It's really a pretty flexible way to create a background. So again, it's just you're taking a texture that has transparency and then either a shade of dark or a shade of light. You're adding that to a color that could be a solid color, it could be a gradient color, or it could be a mix of colors, and then that's creating your background color. Hope you found that useful. Thanks.